I'm Executive Director of the Alabama Environmental Council. I've been with the organization for about 7 years now, and really excited. This is our second annual Power Up Energy Forum, and certainly we think that the theme of celebrating sustainability and economic opportunity is really going to help to frame the day. We have some amazing panelists. We have some amazing participants. The wisdom in the room really is a stellar list of folks, and so really appreciate you taking some time this morning to come and be with us here in Birmingham. This is an important topic and one that I think all of you certainly recognize the importance of looking forward, looking at where we are today, how we can continue to progress forward. And so I'm going to go through a couple of things, and then we'll jump right into a couple of our different panelists. First and foremost, I have to give a huge special thanks to two people that one are on my staff and the other are essentially on my staff. That's Joyce Lanning, of course, who is a board member for AEC, but has a workspace at our office. I mean, she is at the office just as much as we are many times. And if you email with Joyce, you know that she works long into the night and early in the morning. Many of you probably, like me, have been emailing with her at 11:30, 12:30 at night. So tireless worker. And Haley Colson, Haley asked you to stand or get wave. If you've not met Haley yet, Haley is the newest member of our AEC staff. She is full-time working with us through a grant from the Energy Foundation. We're really excited that they wanted to invest in the Alabama Environmental Council to help move the clean energy conversation forward in Alabama. Haley is a recent graduate of the Cumberland Law School. She is in the the MPA program at UAB. So she had finals on top of PSC hearings, on top of planning for Power Up. So it has been a crazy couple of weeks for us, and Haley has jumped in and really been thrown in, jumped into the deep end, certainly, whenever she joined our staff. I'm also extremely grateful for our board, the executive board of the Alabama Environmental Council. Chris Nikolic is our board president, is here in the back of the room. A number of other board members are going to be here throughout the day. And so really appreciative of all of the work that folks put in. And I see so many faces of people that we're working with that really appreciate all that you've done. There is a bio description on the table, but rather than go through each of those as we get to our panelists, we figured that we would just kind of get into the meat of the program and not spend a lot of time there. So appreciate all of those folks. Know that you're just as anxious as we are to get into the conversation and such. Alabama, as all of you know, many of you live here in Alabama, probably a lot of you may have grown up in Alabama, is an amazing place. We have 77,000 miles of rivers and streams. We have some of the most amazing diversity anywhere. The Cahaba River Society, Cahaba River Keeper, brag about the Cahaba River has, in 1 mile stretch of the river, has more freshwater species of fish than all of the state of California. So there are amazing things that we have benefit here in Alabama and that deserve our protection. And that's the rivers and streams, our natural spaces, our fauna, our plants, our trees. It's kind of getting into that dormant time now, but we all know what spring will bring in Alabama. And there's the tiniest of creatures, including, and I always get a little emotional there, that's my daughter, and she certainly is something that we need to protect. We need to care for her. And she, at the Salamander Festival a couple of years ago, wanted to hold the little salamander and just kept going back and back. So there's special things to all of us, and I think all of us have those stories. But unfortunately, it's not all pleasant and wonderful. Birmingham and Jefferson County, unfortunately, has really bad air pollution problems. A lot of the areas of the state do. We still have a pretty intensive extractive industry. that challenges, is a challenge in a lot of ways, and provides opportunities. You know, all of us this morning turned on the light switch like I did. We used our hot water heaters. Maybe some of you took a hot shower, maybe some of you didn't. Wanted to take a cold shower on a brisk Thursday morning. We still have a lot of dependence on fossil fuels for our power systems, and there's just a lot embedded in that, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Our organization works on waste reduction issues. We work on a lot of recycling issues, and unfortunately in Alabama, we put more in our landfills, twice the national average basically, and there's an opportunity there that we work on a lot of different things. But green is the new black. Green has become a lot more accepted. A lot of people are looking out for how we can be a part of that. And our organization has been around for more than 45 years, advocating and educating to preserve and protect our environment. We feel that it's important, and our mission is trying to get people to live more sustainably and be good stewards of the environment. And it's very simple, and yet there's a lot that's embedded in that. And so I appreciate you being here today to talk about that. Our organization has been involved in recycling efforts across the state for more than 30 years. We operate a downtown Birmingham recycling center. We're about to build a new recycling center out in Bessemer through some grant funds. But that's something that has really been a place for our organization to get a foothold and give people the opportunity to learn and step into environmental work, because you know, as Kermit once said, it's not easy being green. We think that it is becoming more easy, or there are opportunities there. Turning off the light switch in the morning, it's us choosing to use less energy, reduce our consumption. Energy efficiency are those hardwired things where we're changing light bulbs, we're changing HVAC systems, we're doing big major lighting retrofits in industrial facilities. And then renewables, of course, are using resources that are available, that are replenishable, that don't have some of the negative impacts. But we still recognize that in Alabama, we have the second highest bills in the country. Just over $1 billion a year to import coal from across the country, from internationally. So there's a lot of opportunity that's going there. And Southern Company, for instance, has made a commitment to actually reduce that. They say that in 2016, I saw a report that said that only about 1% of their coal mix for the entire Southern Company, that's much more than just Alabama, is going to come from Appalachian coal. And only a portion of that comes from Alabama. So the industry, the utilities are driving that market. They're looking at those choices, and they're looking at the economic impacts. Panelists up, which is going to be around our planning for our energy future. And while they're coming up, I'm going to continue to just say a few things. As our panelists conclude, there will be a time for question and answer after each of those panels. We also will have some time for conversation during lunch, and then immediately after our keynote, and then have some wrap up at the end of the day where we'll share some information about our work groups that we want to form after today. So really appreciate everybody being here today, and we'll get started. Joyce Lanning is going to come and help moderate, and I will pass the clicker to her and try to get a thing or two fixed for you.